this. Is that looking good? Yeah, it's looking good. And we'll just fade this out. Get this going. Is this the music I'm thinking of? Don't think it is. Evil Phantom Bellum? Yeah, seems like it. Alright. Oh, it is the song. Good. Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass. The world? It's like Wind Waker's. It's small islands punctuated throughout the seas. But I think this game manages to do a bit more with its ocean that I kind of appreciate. Because Wind Waker, the most that you really had to do on the ocean itself, and not just on the islands, was like finding the pirate platforms, which is just maybe fight some enemies, maybe blow up some cannons, and that's about it. Or find a submarine, do some treasure hunting. But the treasure hunting just consists of pull out the grapple hook, sail to the spot, drop the grapple hook. Congrats, you did it. Here's some money. And then other than that, it was just like fighting the big octos. So like, Wind Waker had stuff to do, but the ocean still felt quite empty. This game keeps a lot of that, because it has the islands, it has enemies that pop up throughout it. You've got Jolene, you've got the different ships. But treasure hunting has been expanded upon by making it so it's actually its own minigame. So you drop the hook down, you actually have to control it as it goes and pull it back up. And I think that adding depth to that sort of aspect of Wind Waker was a really nice choice. And there's also fishing, and the fishing minigame is surprisingly palatable for me. I didn't hate it, but I still had no interest in doing it. But it seemed good, and from what I've seen, there's a variety of fish to catch, and it even ties into getting some heart, or some pieces of heart. That's good. It has its place within the world, and I like that. But yeah, like, it still has the shops, still has the little other ships you can run into. It's got Jolene. That's all good. I like that. And even the islands themselves are quite nice. And they have DS Island. Oh, so funny and clever. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the islands were good, of the ones I went to, because I didn't go to all of them. They had some nice design, nice stories. World design's good. The dungeons feel good, even though they're 2D Zelda dungeons. I didn't hate them. There were a few things, like the invisible pathway in... was that the Goron dungeon, or was it the Temple of Courage? I don't remember. But yeah, ice physics could fuck off a little bit. Goron dungeon, the final boss could fuck off, but like that's... Having replayed that fight 2 more times after the on-stream fight, it's not as bad as I thought it was. Because once you know what to do, it's quite straightforward. And you can manage it well enough. So I think that the world is quite nice. I like it. It's pretty good. Story-wise, I'm actually genuinely impressed with the story, which for a Zelda game is rare. Because Zelda games usually go with a very light story. But like, it just the amount of... I guess it'd be more of characters, but like the story itself is quite nice. Go around, get the different fairies, which you can also power them up, and that's real nice. Get the fairies, then go for the Phantom Blade. But like even Seela developing the way it does, she does, I don't know what Seela is supposed to be. Presumably Seela is a female fairy purely because Navi is a female fairy, who knows? And Seela doesn't seem like a male name. But they're fairies. But yeah, no, it is weird to me that Seela is both the spirit of power, or of courage and time. Because the other 2 spirits just kind of get shafted. It's like, oh, what are you? Power. Oh, what are you? Wisdom. What are you? Time. And courage. Huh? Kind of loaded you up on powers. God damn. But yeah, no, like I like the story. I appreciate, you know, the path it takes. And it stays surprisingly brief, because this game doesn't take that long to beat. And I kind of like that. And it's that usual handheld game thing of like, there's a bunch to do, there's a lot to explore. But the actual game itself is quite brief. You get a lot of that time from exploring the world, which you do as a child in the backseat of the car. On the way to your grandma's house or something, I don't know. Yeah, no, for a Zelda game, pretty good story, I liked it. Characters. Linebeck's great. I started the game thinking he was a tool, and he's a tool. He's absolutely a tool. But he's my tool, goddammit. And, like, he has genuine character growth. He goes from being a treasure-hungry coward to just a coward. You know, he cares more about his ship, but he cares more about Link and Seela. And he just wants his ship back. He just wants to sail the seas and live his life. I like that. And Grandpa Whale, pretty good. Seela provides that same thing as Navi, where it's like, we can have dialogue, but not have Link give it. And then the characters throughout the world are quite nice. They use a lot of the, like, the Wind Waker models, so visually they are still quite nice to look at. But even just the sort of new designs in the Wind Waker style are all quite well done. They look good. And the shopkeeper is very cute. Very adorable. Yeah, no, I like the characters. They're still the usual sort of Zelda fanfare of very minimal characters who don't really have lives. They are characters in this town, in this video game. But, like, you know, some characters go places, some characters do things, and the main story characters still do a lot. Tetra remains the Tetra from Wind Waker, where it's like, I'm here for 10 seconds of the game, I'm gone for the entire thing, and then I'm here for the ending, and I didn't do anything. But at this point, I'm used to Tetra being that. It does not surprise me when Tetra is, you know, the damsel in distress by being a pirate captain. So, like, there's still a lot to improve on. There's still a lot that could be done better. But it's also a DS game. And if you come to a DS game expecting nuanced storytelling and deep introspective characters, I think you might deserve to be in a mental hospital. So, like, you know, they're good. They're good. Gameplay-wise, I'm kind of torn on the gameplay, because on one hand, like, that final boss is fantastic. That final boss is great. And even some of the other bosses in the game, like, hold on, let me pull up a list of bosses. Phantom Hourglass bosses. Like, for a Zelda game, I quite like the bosses in this. I thought they were decent. The giant eye plant... Oh no, those are mini-bosses out in the ocean. 9 phantoms in the Temple of the Ocean King. Oh. Yeah, Blaz... Blaz was nice because you actually have to pay attention, and I didn't. And so I didn't understand the fight. But then once I saw it, it was good. I like it, and it does a good job with the boomerang. Then there was Cyclock, which... Cyclock was a bit jank, because the bombs felt almost random as to whether or not they would hit. Oh, the Spirit of Wisdom is called Neri. Alright, they had names. Wait a minute. What was the Fairy of Power called? Oh, right, the Fairy of Power was called Leaf. Weird. But yeah, Cyclock, Crake... What did I even do for Crake? Shoot him in the eye and then you do stuff to him. Yeah, Crake was okay. Cuba Sisters, with the controls, were bad, but they were a nice evolution of the Phantom Ganon fight. And so for that, I think they're a good idea. I don't think they fit this game, though. Danganrongo, It's a neat boss because you have to juggle between Link and Goron Child, but the execution's a bit flawed with how you control the Goron and the way the attacks work, because the game deliberately stops attacks at the Goron when you're playing as Link. And that just feels like hand-holding, and I don't appreciate that. Gleeok was fairly easy just because you can stand in the back and not play the fight. But I like the idea of it. Has clear, distinct phases, which could be a bad thing, but it's a Zelda boss, it has phases. Eox was a neat spectacle. I don't know if it was necessarily a good fight, because it's kind of just waiting around until you can do the thing. But the thing is cool, so I don't know, who cares? Meanwhile, the Bellum fight, and even the Bellumbek fight, quite cool. I like it. Oh. How the hell do you get the Great Spin? Wait, what? Now it's saying this isn't a thing in Twilight or in Phantom Hourglass. What? Phantom Hourglass Great Spin. Great Spin Attack. Here we go. If Link executes the spin attack 3 times in a row, he starts the Great Spin Attack. The spin trail turns orange, and Link spins for several seconds much faster than usual. Link can also be moved with the stylus while spinning because Link does not need to draw any more circles. It can be very useful to defeat a lot of enemies at once, since while doing the attack, Link is invincible and hurts any enemy that touches him, or to strike a boss multiple times during a timed stun. For example, when stopping time using a Phantom Sphere while fighting Bellum. In both games, the Swordman's Scroll is required to be able to execute this move. In Phantom Hourglass, it is the reward for the game's trading sequence. Oh, okay. Neat. So what does the thing even consist of? After Link boards the Traveler ship belonging to the Man of Smiles, I never met him, beats the enemies, he appears and gives Link the choice of a normal item, a treasure chart, or a mysterious item. And then he gives Link both. You get the hero's new clothes, you trade those for the telescope, then for the guard notebook, then for the wood heart, and then you get given the Swordsman's Scroll, and that lets you do the spin. Interesting. Cool. There you go. Yeah, no, the bosses, like, even as that last boss, is fantastic. I genuinely wish that boss was in a different game. Because even without the, even without this game's controls, that fight would still be fantastic. Also, hello to say. Someday. But yeah, no. But then you have the problem of, like, the Goron being weird to control and movement being weird and imprecise because you're trying to control a character by drawing on a screen. So, like, I think a lot of the gameplay ideas have a lot of merit and are quite good. I think the execution of the gameplay kind of holds it back a little bit, because things either have to be easy enough for the player to accomplish them whilst using a fucking stylus to control your character, or it is buttfuck nuts and impossible. And it's hard for it to not cross that middle line. It's a delicate balancing act. And I'd almost prefer if it was just a more standard Zelda control scheme, especially because, like, they did that exact thing on the Game Boy Color. They had regular Zelda controls. A Link Between Worlds has regular Zelda controls on a 3DS. It's possible. They just had the gimmick of touch and went, we have to do this. We need to use it. So, like, I don't know. I think the gameplay falls apart in certain ways that makes me a bit disappointed with it, but it's got a lot of good ideas. Music-wise, I think the music's great. Like, this song, Evil Phantom Bellum, is like the one song in ages where I've heard it during a fight and been like, ooh, let's go. It's boss as hell, what the fuck? I wonder if I can find Temple Boss. Let's listen to that. Yeah, even this song, a bit simpler, but still quite good. I like it. Yeah, no, the music in this game, probably like the highest point about it for me. Even though it is DS quality, which kind of messes it up a little bit, but it's still good. I really like that. Lengthwise, I think it's still that same Zelda thing of just like really well paced. It does have the one problem of the Temple of the Ocean King, where you have a dungeon that you are deliberately made to play through several times to the point where they give you a halfway point, so that you can just skip that first bit. But then you're also unlocking stuff throughout the game that makes you be incentivized to go back in through the levels you've already played 4 times to try and get everything in there, if you wanted it. And like, getting the Phantom Blade and being able to kill the phantoms inside is quite satisfying. And it is, you know, it is a neat way to sort of cap off that idea. But I'm trying to think of how many times the player has to go through that dungeon. Because it's, what, 5 visits? Minimum? Or is it 6? It might be 6. Let's see. What does this walkthrough say the number of trips is? Yeah, it's 6. So you'd have to play the first, like, 5 floors minimum 3 times. And then you can skip them. And then after you've skipped them, you still have to do, like, 5-10 more floors. Another 3 times. So, like, that kind of kills the padding in a way that's really disappointing. So it's not the perfectly paced Zelda game. I still don't think it's that bad of pacing. Especially because once you become familiar with the temple, you can speed through it quite quickly. And you only ever get, like, 30 minutes, I think, to get through all of it. So it can't be that long of a dungeon. Jank-wise, this game is jank as shit. The controls are jank, the sailing's kind of jank, the cannon that you use while sailing is kind of jank. The items can be kind of jank. You can soft lock by getting hit or having the boat do an action whilst discovering an island, which I discovered quite painfully. And for some reason, if I try to make a save state, the emulator fucking crashes. So, like, there was some powerful jank in this game. DLC. That's not a thing yet. Yeah, all in all, Phantom Hourglass. I think the ending really lifts it up a lot. I don't think I would have enjoyed it nearly as much if the ending wasn't as good. Because that boss fight is great, the characters are great, the ending of it is very bittersweet. Then it's also got that kind of hopeful upward turn that Zelda games usually have, where it's like, oh wait, there's Linebeck's ship. I mean, Linebeck is here? Did Linebeck change universes as well? What's going on? Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily the best Zelda game, but for a DS game, surprisingly good. How about this? I didn't have the most fun with it, but I had some fun with it, and I think it's quite good. And I think if I had played this on the DS, way back when, I'd have enough nostalgia for it that it would be close to Wind Waker for me. And that's impressive for a DS game, because that is a lot less power than the GameCube. But that is Phantom Hourglass finished. Means next time I get to start Spirit Tracks, which was Spirit Tracks just the regular DS? Was that 3DS? Was that DSi? Ah. Still the original DS. Okay. But I wonder if since it was later in the DS's life cycle, yeah, another 2 years had passed, I wonder if the game looks any better. They managed to squeeze any more quality out of the game. I don't know. But we shall find out around then, when I start that. But for now, that'll be it from me. Tomorrow I have work, so I will probably just stream something after I get home from work. Maybe Fresh has up for some TF2, or if Dad got stuff for it, who knows. Been playing that again, and it's been fun. But thank you to everyone who stopped by. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.